All right, Tim. Timbo, I'm talking to you.
I'm here.
Nice. Label this when to use minor pentatonic and major pentatonic. When to use it. This is for the website. And we'll take it from here. Hi good people, how you doing? David Taub here, coming to you from San Diego, California. And I've been getting a lot of questions about students that are unclear when to use certain scales and how to apply them. And to be honest with you, I'm glad I'm getting those questions because from the students who haven't watched the modules yet, because, you know, like I always say, knowing all the scales in the world is only half the ball game. Not that you have to know them all, but knowing scales is only half of it. You see, if you know 10, 20 different scales, but you don't know how to apply them, you're dead. You don't know what the chords to play them over. What good is learning the scale if you don't know how to apply it, right? So I want to talk to you just a little bit briefly, because a lot of people are asking questions about minor pentatonic, because it's one of the most commonly used scales across most genres of music. And I'll talk about pentatonics here for a minute and see if I can clear up some of the confusion. Then go to my modules on minor pentatonic and major pentatonic in the intermediate section of the website, and you'll get detailed lessons that really break it down, okay? But I'll give you some oversights here to get you going, to get you rocking out, playing in the bands, playing with your friends, having fun, kicking butt, taking names, baby. Know what I'm saying? So, okay. So, you gotta know how to, not just the scale or the technique or the chord, but how to apply it is so important. What you're learning here, I try to set up exercises or teachings to show you how to apply this, okay? So, let's talk about minor pentatonic and blues, okay? When you talk about minor pentatonic, we're just going to incorporate the blues. So let's say if we're playing in the key of A, and you're playing that basic minor pentatonic shape, which you should be learning all over the neck as per the lessons in the module. Okay? There was the A minor pentatonic blues scale in this one position. You know, you want to learn it in all positions, obviously. And you want to learn those expanded shapes to get playing. To play across the neck. Right? So, okay. So, let's say you're learning that, but you're not sure when to use it. Alright? I'm going to give you a couple just real broad brushstrokes here. Okay? Pentatonic scale is a 5-note scale. Penta means 5, Latin for 5. Like a pentagon has, the pentagon has 5 sides. A pentagram is that 5-sided thing. 5-sided object. So pentatonic has 5. Minor pentatonic is 5 notes from the natural minor scale or the Aeolian mode. That's where they pull 5 of those notes from. You're playing a root, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7. And if you want to make it blues, you add the blue note or the flat 5. There's that blue note. Okay? So you could lump the blue note in there. We'll just call it minor pentatonic and blues, okay? Now, what you want to keep in mind is that it's 5 notes from the natural minor or Aeolian mode. So, basically, I'm going to make it real easy for you, okay? Because we're all about making the guitar easy and fun here at Next Level Guitar. You can use minor pentatonic. Let's talk about minor pentatonic first. You could use minor pentatonic. It is such a common scale across so many genres of music because it's based off this 1-4-5. And because it's from this minor, so you can play it across any minor key song. So anytime you have a song that's in minor key, sorry about that, my mic popped off. So anytime you have a song that's in minor key, you can use minor pentatonic scale in that key. Now you could do a lot more than that, but I'm just going to give you some broad brushstrokes. If you're playing in a song that's in the key of A minor, whatever that song is, right? In fact, if you go to our website, Jam Tracks, the Jam Tracks section, there's jam tracks there, and one of the jam tracks is an A minor to D. It kind of sounds like this. A minor. That's in the key of A minor. So I can play A minor pentatonic and blues over all the chords. Alright? So remember, whenever you're in a minor key jam, minor key song, you can use minor pentatonic over all those chords. If you have a song that's in G minor, for the most part you could play G minor pentatonic and blues. If the song's in C minor, play C minor pentatonic and blues as one option. Now, don't limit yourself just to that. There's tons and tons of things. Eventually you want to start using your major scale, start playing in the modes of the major scale, and I'll teach you how to do that. But a lot of questions are coming in just on this minor pentatonic kind of application. So, first one, I'll give you 3 big uses for it. First one, minor pentatonic, anytime you have a song in minor key you can use it. Another big one is anytime you have a song that's in major key, but it's like a 1-4-5 blues, shuffle, swing kind of thing, you could use minor pentatonic. So anytime you have a song and you hear this, those are major type chords, you can use your minor pentatonic. Or if it's a shuffle, any kind of shuffle or swing, where you hear that 1 to that 4 chord, then you go that 5. These are I played 7th chords. I played 7th chords, major family chords, right? But minor pentatonic sounds great over that. And the reason it sounds so good is because that's kind of what the blues is all about, playing those minor sounding notes over the major chords. You know what I mean? It gives you that real bluesy. You get that real bluesy sound. Get that real bluesy sound, right? So anytime you hear that 1-4-5 shuffle, swing, or that boogie kind of thing, even though those are considered major chords, any kind of thing like that, major chord wise, minor pentatonic and blues is going to sound great. So if that's in the key, if you're playing this shuffle in the key of F, you could use as one possibility. Remember, there's tons. Don't just limit yourself to minor pentatonic. Use F minor pentatonic, okay? And so that's the second big thing. The third biggest you'll find minor pentatonic works really well is over a lot of rock jams. In rock music, minor pent really sounds good, as long as the jam is not too major sounding. If it's a real major chord sounding thing, so you got to kind of use your discretion. You're going to want to use major pentatonic. You're going to want to stay away from minor pentatonic. So if it's major chords but not this bluesy, shuffly kind of thing, if it's just a straight ahead rocker, you could still use minor pentatonic as long as it's not too major sounding. Like, for instance, this progression here. Very major sounding. G, E minor, C, kind of common progression, G. Okay, that's very major sounding. If you want to play over all the chords, what relates to all, I wouldn't choose minor pentatonic there. I'd probably stick with major pentatonic or G major scales. Now there was an E minor chord in there, so you could play E minor pentatonic over that one chord, but right now we're talking about playing over all the chords, what relates to all. So you got to use your discretion with the rock jams. You don't want to use minor pentatonic. You be careful if it's a real majory sounding progression, real major key. Okay? So there's so much more that you could do than that, but that's going to get you started. So remember your 3 big things with minor pentatonic, okay? It's 5 notes from the natural minor scale, okay? It's the root, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7. And then to make it the blue note, you add the flat 5. Root, flat 3rd, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, okay? And that is the blues scale, minor pen and blues. You can play that anytime. 1, minor key song. You can use that scale in that particular key of the song. 2, you can use it in that particular key over 1-4-5s, shuffles, swings, major key stuff. That has that 1-4-5 shuffly, bluesy, swingy kind of feel to it. 3, you can use it a lot in rock jams, okay? As long as it's not real major sounding, okay? Now, I want you to continue your studies because there's a lot more things you can do than just minor pentatonic. You could use sometimes minor pentatonic and major pentatonic together. And we'll get to major pentatonic in another module. You could start playing and adding the modes of the major scale. I'm talking about Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, all Aeolian, all the modes of the major scale, and use those. Sometimes also, depending on the chords, like I said, in a minor key song, you could use minor pentatonic in that key. Sometimes you could use 3 minor pentatonic. Like if a song goes A minor to D, and I'll teach you how to do this. I could play an A minor pentatonic, but I could also use B minor pentatonic, and I could also use the one off the 5th. I could use E minor pentatonic over that jam, and that'll give me a real Dorian type sound. But you got to be careful. You can't do that all the time. I'll teach you how. In fact, there's a written lesson about how to do that called Pentatonic Madness in the written lessons section of the website, and also I talk about that in detailed lessons in the intermediate section on minor pentatonic. Okay, so don't just limit yourself to minor pentatonic. Okay, I've been getting a lot of questions about it, and that's why I wanted to do this module to get you going. But eventually, you want to be able to play not just minor pentatonic over the neck, but you want to be able to play major pentatonic all over the neck. You want to play your major scales. Then you want to play your modes of the major scale, and that's generally the progression I take students. Minor pentatonic, major pentatonics, get your pentatonics down. Then we go into our major scales. Then we go into our modes of the major scale. Okay? And if you want to get to the next level, that's what you're going to have to do. Alright? But it's easy and fun, and I can help you with it. Tim Gilberg's going to help you with it. We are here to help you with it. And we are going to get you to the next level in the fastest, most efficient manner possible. So, rock on. Go use those jam tracks. Those jam tracks are an invaluable tool because you're playing over a rhythm track. So you have to come up with some cool rhythms and add rhythm to your playing. I'm not talking about holding the chords down. I'm talking about rhythm in your soloing. You have a drummer playing in that. It's a whole jam track. It's the whole band minus the lead guitar. You could start coming up with your ideas and putting your licks together, working on your phrasing, and then moving around, playing over the neck, applying all these things you're learning. You got to apply what you're learning or else you're going to forget it. Always apply what you're learning on the instrument. It's so important. See you in the next module. Develop that ear. Take care, good people.